Hello everyone, it's David from Automotive Press. I have one impressive, great handling, and reasonably affordable compact SUV. And you know what? It's not from Lexus, it's not from Toyota, it's actually from Alfa Romeo. It's called the Alfa Romeo Tonale, new for 2024. And the pricing is just under $50,000 for US pricing and just under $60,000 for Canadian pricing. Either way, you get a lot of value for what you get because this one handles better than almost anything else out there. And while the Alfa Romeo reputation for quality is still a little bit questionable, everything else about this vehicle is world class. Let me go through my usual engineer's audit of the vehicle, tell you how it handles and drives, and tell you why this is one car that you might not want to miss. Let's go. Welcome back. So I have the Alfa Romeo Tonale here, which is a very unusual car in the sense that it is Italian, it is plug-in hybrid, it's surprisingly affordable in terms of pricing, and this thing handles like a sports sedan versus a SUV, a combination which you won't find anywhere else in the marketplace. It's just that the Alfa Romeo brand itself is not as known yet as other major brands such as Audi, BMW, Mercedes, and obviously people are still a little bit worried about long-term reliability of Alfa Romeo brand. But based on some recent research, the reliability records have actually improved a lot for the brand, and therefore I don't hesitate to recommend it. And in fact, if I was looking for a small compact entry-level luxury SUV, I would buy this over many other brands because of the handling and the capability for driving character, something that you just won't find anymore in many other brands, including Lexus, which has an NX plug-in hybrid, but that thing is very comfortable and smooth, but not fun to drive. But let me do a quick quality check, as I always do. I don't have my usual gauge here with me today, but the panel fit is actually really good. Paint quality is something you can't tell right now because it's raining, but when I looked at it while it was dry, it's excellent and really good. And the panel fit here also really good. All the edges line up. Could I say that it's as good as a Lexus? Well, not quite, because the gaps are pretty wide, maybe about 4mm here, a little bit over 4, and maybe as much as 4.5mm here. So the gaps aren't quite as tight, but the overall fit and finish of the panel looks all good, and the paint quality looks really good. Let's take a look inside. So now we're inside the Alfa Romeo Tonale, and I'm going to be doing this, by the way, kind of live stream style. So if I make a mistake here and there, I'm gonna keep on rolling so that I can give you more of my natural feedback of the car. But the interior is one of the best I've seen so far in this price range, because most vehicles these days have a very boring, conservative feel, but this one has the kind of an engaging and dynamic feel with a big bulging instrumentation here, along with a really cool textured trim here, which lights up at night. So this kind of looks like a mixture of carbon fiber and aluminum, and then this thing actually lights up with a background at night, which is really cool. The stitching also looks good. Well, it's Italian, you expect these kind of stuff to be really well made. And the switches of the button have a good tactile feel, which is not always the case with some other brands. We have the engine start here, and we have the mode control here, and normal shifter, which I really like. And of course, you get an Alfa Romeo steering, which is smaller in size than many other vehicles, with a really nice bump at 10 and 3 p.m. Not just a little bump, but actually a really big grip. So steering feels really good. And then even over to the door, you get a softer material here, unlike many other Japanese brands, which have moved to hard surfaces just to save money. But they didn't go cheap. This car does not feel like a $50,000, $60,000 car. It feels like a $70,000, $80,000, $90,000 car from the interior perspective. And all the trims fit well. I don't see anything loose when I do my usual punch test. Everything is tight, and all the trims in terms of fit and finish look good as well. You get a full digital instrumentation here, as well as a proper touch panel infotainment system here, which, by the way, works really fast and quick compared to many other infotainment systems we have come across. So they have a pretty good system here. There's some quirky things, such as the fact that when you put it in park, it will automatically put the parking brake on, which is a good thing. But when you put on drive, it doesn't release automatically, so you have to manually release. So that's something that's a little bit quirky and annoying. But you get both USB-C and USB-A over here, and believe it or not, even get a 12-volt cigarette lighter plug-in here still, which is something you don't see anymore these days. And you have a nice satin finish tab right here to control the direction, and open and close here as well. So design is beautiful. It's very Italian. The seats are very comfortable and very supportive. So compared to, let's say, Audi, BMW, Mercedes, even Lexus with the NX, this one has the sportiest interior. I think the most beautiful interior in terms of design, and actually most supportive in terms of being able to drive this in a sporty fashion because of the steering feel, because of seat support, and also obviously the driving character, which I'll talk about in a minute. So now I'm driving the Tonale, and of course this is where the Alfa Romeo shines compared to pretty well any other brand. If you thought that Mercedes, Audi, and BMW have a sporty or European character, you're wrong, because this one is far superior in terms of driving feel and driving character than those brands, because many of the European brands have moved upscale and softer and more conservative, and so they're not as fun to drive anymore, whereas Alfa Romeo has kept the Alfa Romeo spirit, and therefore the steering is sharp, the handling is very predictable, and you get a good road feel when you drive. So many other brands have kind of given up trying to give you a sharp handling. Instead, they want to give you a softer character and a more conservative feel. And that is okay for most buyers, but for someone like myself who really enjoy driving, I want that sharp feel. I want that character that gives me feedback and a sense of what's happening underneath the car. So this one has a direct feel. You can kind of feel in your hand with the steering because the tires and the wheels and everything talks to me. And in the plug-in hybrid mode, it's actually extremely quiet. When the engine starts up, because the motor has ran out of battery, it's noisier, as you can tell right now, because it is a turbocharged 4-cylinder engine that is only 1.3 liters in displacement. So it does get a little bit noisy, but regardless, it doesn't take away from the fact that this is perhaps the most fun to drive compact luxury SUV for the price. I wish other brands would mimic this and give us a good feel, but they just chose not to do it that way. Now the engine is pretty peppy, and because of plug-in hybrid, you're actually driving in a hybrid mode when the battery loses its charge, and so it's quite peppy and surprisingly fast in terms of acceleration as well. Like I said, if I were to buy SUV in this price range, kind of $50,000 to $60,000 range, and I want a driving character and driving feel as a top priority, there's nothing else that comes close to it. It's just unfortunate that people don't consider Alfa Romeo brand because of long-term reliability issues and questions around overall quality. But Alfa Romeo has been steadily improving that to the point where I think that's not an issue anymore, and the quality has improved tremendously. Is it as reliable as a Lexus? No, it's not going to be, and that's something you'll have to keep in mind, because you may have to take it back to the dealership a few times for minor repairs. But if you can kind of overlook that, it's a darn good vehicle for the price, and I really enjoy being able to drive this for the week. So I hope you enjoyed my quick review of the Alfa Romeo Tonale. It's one of a kind in terms of driving character, in terms of feel, and also the unique styling both inside and out. This is truly an Italian flared vehicle that is unlike anything else out there for the price. If you want something that's different from your neighbors, Lexus and Audis and BMWs, this is the one to buy. I hope you enjoyed my quick review. Until next video, I'm signing off for now. Thank you so much.